Good evening. Some developing news this evening about State Representative Sharice Millett and Kyle Johansson. The House Majority Caucus met this evening in Juneau and decided the two will not be allowed back into the majority this year. Millett of Anchorage and Johansson of Ketchikan were tossed out of the powerful group when they disagreed with colleagues over certain committee assignments. Again, Millett and Johansson will not be allowed back into the majority. In other news, remembering a man with a powerful message. Today, Alaskans look to Martin Luther King Jr. for guidance. Politicians and local leaders say after this month's tragic shooting in Tucson, it's important to know there are nonviolent ways to protest. Channel 2's Jackie Bartz has more.
We will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men.
His words inspired a nation and continue to speak generations after he's gone.
And singing the words of the old Negro spiritual.
Every year we remember Martin Luther King Jr., but this year his message speaks louder.
We forget that richness that our diversity brings. And we forget the messages. We forget what this country was built on.
Hundreds gathered to celebrate King, but just like he preached, it wasn't about the man. It was about the message.
When you think about it, he talked about respecting. May you disagree with someone, you respect them, and you can protest, but in a nonviolent way.
In the wake of the deadly shooting in Tucson, many blame political mudslinging and violent rhetoric. Politicians and local leaders say we should look to King as an example.
He fought vigorously with the federal government in a lot of ways and argued with political leaders very aggressively, but he did it in a way that used his words carefully.
Remembering the power our words hold.
A man whose legacy lives today in the hearts and souls of all of us here. We must carry this man's message of peaceful change to our communities and live our values.
And recognizing it's okay when we disagree.
The genius of America is that our diversity is our unity.
Today, these people celebrated acceptance.
Run an extra mile. Move from the ordinary to an extraordinary, starting today.
Just like King used his to change a nation, these leaders used their words to inspire an audience.
We all are role models. We have to choose our words carefully, but also remember that we can do better than where we are today.
And even if their words only inspire one, they were powerful enough to make a difference. Jackie Bartz, Channel 2 News.
Just a reminder, tomorrow most city and federal offices will be closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Schools will also be closed here in Anchorage and in the Valley, but People Mover buses will be running their usual routes. There are several celebrations taking place to commemorate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Starting at 11:30 a.m. at the Mountain View Boys and Girls Club. There will be food and entertainment along with resolutions presented by Alaska officials. In Wasilla from 1 to 3 o'clock, there will be an MLK celebration at the Valley Performing Arts Center.